Hello everyone, I'm Manuel, I'm the creator of Murdoku. I will explain step by step the solution for Frontier Town. So if you've played book 2, you know what this is about. It features the Wild West theme with the Outlaw twist, which is like a mini mystery on top of the main mystery. As always, we're trying to find who killed the victim, who was alone with the victim, and also one of these suspects, not the victim, is the outlaw. In this case, the outlaw was beside a table, so what we'll do to solve this case is go person by person and ask who can possibly be this outlaw. So first of all, A, well, she would be here or here beside this table and the cash register. Then B, she was in a corner, so these are the only squares in a corner that are also beside the table. Curtis, this is the only chair that's beside the table. Duke, not the outlaw. Etta, she was in the bank, so she can be in any of these squares as the outlaw. Frank, he was sitting on a horse and there's no horse beside the table, so it's not F. G, he was beside a cactus and there's no table outside, so it cannot be G. And now H, very important clue. She cannot be the outlaw, first of all. She was with the outlaw and she was sitting in a chair. We'll get back to her in a second. And finally, I, she was south of Hazel in a different area because the outlaw is with H. Well, then it cannot be I. And finally, V, not the outlaw. So now let's look more closely at H. Well, let's say that H was here. She would block B completely as the outlaw, so H cannot be here. Also, H cannot be in the general store because if she was here, she would block A as the outlaw. So H can only possibly be in this square, in this chair. And now, well, we know that E is the only possible outlaw right here. We can block this intersecting square. And now we just found A in the last square beside a cash register. And if we look at I again, she was south of H. So she can be in any of these squares. The most important part is that we know that in R8 and R10, we have E and I together in any order. So which means that no one else can possibly fit in these two rows. And now if we look at F again, he was sitting on a horse, but he cannot be in row 8. It's I or E, or that's here. So F is here. E must be here. And now G is in one of these two squares. We can block the intersecting squares right here. If you're not sure why, well, let's say that V was right here. Well, then G would have nowhere to be. So we can block these two squares, which means that G is on this chair. And now B can be here or here, the last two corners. We can block this intersecting square, which means that G is right here. This is the last square beside the chair for D. I must be here. B must be here. And then finally, V is here. So I hope you enjoyed this special puzzle for this week. And of course, there's book 2 if you want more Wild West puzzles like this one. Thanks for playing.